A worktop joint is used to disguise the gap formed when two post-formed tops meet. You'll need a 1/2 inch router, a worktop jig and some suitable long reach straight cutters, and also some connecting bolts. To cut the female part of the joint, turn the worktop upside down. Interchangeable spacers on the jig ensures it positions correctly, but use a couple of clamps to make sure it can't move. Fit the recommended guide bush in your router. This is very easy with the SDS system on the GOF 1600. Adjust the depth stop to make an initial cut of about 10 mm. Make the first cut working onto the worktop from the left to avoid breaking away the laminate on the front edge, and keep the guide bush pressed against the right hand side of the slot. Don't try to go too deep with the cut or you may snap the cutter. Working this way ensures that any laminate breakout is only on the waste side. Keep going about 10 mm deeper with each successive cut, and the waste will eventually fall away. Then make a finishing cut with a router set at full depth, but pressing the guide bush against the left hand side of the slot. This is the first half of the joint with a neatly shaped mitre. Now position the jig to route the holes to the connecting bolts. Cut these in stages as before. And the bolts will then fit like this. For the male section, lay on the female joint you've just cut and mark the cut position with a pencil. Cut this out using a jigsaw, but working about 6 mm on the waist side of the line. Now position the jig using the relevant spacers again and clamp firmly in place. Route this to shape in the same way as the first section, making progressively deeper cuts, and repeat the finishing procedure as before with the router pressed against the left hand side of the slot. You will again end up with a neat 45-degree mitre and a clean straight edge. Turn this section of top over and cut the connecting bolt holes. The ragged edges left by the paper backing can be cleaned up with some fine abrasive paper. The tops will now slot together perfectly. Turn them back over and mark the position for 3 locating biscuits, and cut the slots using a biscuit jointer. These will ensure that the joint stays flush as the bolts are tightened up. Spread a good layer of waterproof glue along the joint and then tighten it all together with the connecting bolts. The finished joint should be virtually invisible.